Good evening, everyone. This is Financial Literacy 101. And yesterday I asked my viewers three things. And the one thing they said is, we want to see a video on one thing proven to making you successful. Okay, of course, I'm not going to draw this out. I like drawing things out. I know people like to draw things out. I'm not going to draw things out. But let's get educated just a little bit of what successful is. Okay, let's define what successful really is. So the definition, according to your good friend Google, accomplishing an aim or purpose. Okay, accomplishing an aim or purpose, and we can kind of wrap that up and say goal. Accomplishing a goal, that's successful. That is successful. Another thing is victorious, triumph, fortunate, and lucky. Having achieved popularity, profit, or distinction. Again, having achieved popularity, profit, or distinction. And some of the great things I know you guys like, this is successful to me, are prosperity, affluent, wealthy, rich, and well-to-do. You know how some people are, oh yeah, he's real well-to-do, meaning that he is successful. Anytime you think of someone who's wealthy or rich, you're like, oh, he's successful. Oh, he's prosperous. He is successful. So that is defining what success is. But truly, success is accomplishing an aim, purpose, or goal. Okay? Because you can be successful one day and be unsuccessful the next day. Okay? That's why it's not this really, definite thing that once you're successful, you're always successful. But I'm going to give you the one thing that is proven to making you successful. And it's not going to be one of those quick rich schemes that most people try to tell you, because that doesn't exist. Okay, it doesn't exist. Even investors have to invest over the course of time, or successful can actually mean that you're lucky. Okay, did it actually mean that you're lucky? Now, during this live cast, if you guys feel like you want to support the channel, we have Super Chat as well as Super Sticker. So doesn't matter, no pressure on you guys, but if you want to donate any money, please go ahead. I will actually love that you do, but no pressure on you. You're gonna still get great information and great content, regardless if you super chat or not. So go ahead and super chat. Anyway, so let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. Success is something all of us aspire to do. It does not come easy. Unfortunately, it will not occur overnight. Some of you may think, oh, he became successful overnight. I'm pretty sure he or she was doing things in the background. He or she had things in the woodwork to becoming successful. Being successful takes hard work, okay? Hard work, perseverance, and time. I tell you this, just today, I went to go look at my first property for real estate. I look at, because I'm in real estate investing, but I'm in REITs. Meaning everything that I do in real estate is virtual. But now I'm in the space. Now I'm in the position to buy property, real estate investment properties to rent, okay? To become successful, one has to mirror the typical practices of individuals who already are successful and follow their footsteps. Like my buddy Rod, I'm following his footsteps. He is very successful. He is very wealthy. So I'm following his footsteps. But again, what does this take? It takes hard work. It takes perseverance. And most importantly, it takes your time. Some of you have day jobs. Some of you have 2 jobs. Some of you have 3 jobs. But guess what? There's people out there who are very successful or who are becoming very successful with only 4 hours of sleep. Just on the way back, I was falling asleep because earlier this morning and late last night, I was looking at properties to go view this afternoon. So hard work takes a lot of time. It takes perseverance. So you're not going to have a lot of free time when you're talking about being successful. See, some people come on the internet and look like, okay, how can I become rich? How can I become a millionaire? How can I become successful? And you're looking for one of these quick, easy methods that someone's trying to sell you on, and it just doesn't work because it takes hard work every day and off maybe Saturdays and Sundays so you can rest and sleep because you're going to be pooped. But even on weekends, sometimes you have to sacrifice. You have to sacrifice your time with your family, time with your kids. People who are successful, the major thing in their success is sacrifice. is sacrifice. Now, let's get into the video. Now that you have the answer that you thought you was going to wait the entire video, but now I'm going to break it down even more. One proven thing to make you successful is sacrifice, because in that sacrifice encompasses all these things I'm about to tell you. But it only takes one thing, and it's called sacrifice. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Most people do not want to sacrifice. I know many of people, they want to keep all their subscription services. They want to keep their Netflix, their Hulu, their Vudu. They want to keep their satellite TV. They want to cook all those things. But they say, you know what? I'm trying to buy a rental van to take the elderly to and from the airport. Well, how are you going to do that when you don't have enough capital? How are you going to do that when your credit card's stuck? How are you going to do these things and you're not willing to make what? The sacrifices. First thing, no excuses. No excuses. If you think that people live perfect lives, then you're absolutely wrong. Nobody has a perfect life, and all of us are faced with occasional injustice and variables. Rather than sitting there feeling pity for yourself and I got to get in and providing you reasons to make excuses, move ahead and put it behind you. Utilize its motivation and use this time to grow and learn. Stop making excuses. Here's another one. It isn't only about materialistic things when you see success. Oh, he has a nice suit. Or he has a nice car. Or he has a nice house. Look at him buy the bar out. All these things are materialism. And it shouldn't have to be that, because materialism are things are absolutely a portion of your motivation, yet they ought to be only a small part of your motivation, those materialistic things. The really successful people in life always get to the top because they made changes in their lives. They made changes in their lives. Here's another one. You have to get up early. You have to wake up early like I did. I was up around, I'm going to say 5:30, 6 o'clock looking at properties, because you have to wake up early and go and go to bed late, because there's not enough time in the day for you to work your regular job and do all other sorts of things that you want to do to become successful. Because the one thing that you are that you absolutely hate, you hate it. You are an employee of another corporation. You are an employee of another business, and you hate it. You hate the 9 to 5. You hate the 8 to 4. You hate the 7 to 3. Whatever your schedule may be, you hate it. You may say, you know what? I love my job. I love what I do. But there's a difference between working for an organization, loving what you do, and then being dependent on them. Because guess what? When you work for somebody else, they have their life. They have your life in their hands. In their hands. This COVID-19 has let the skeletons out the closet. It has. It's let the skeletons out the closet. You know how? Because people realize that I was successful. How were you successful and you were just getting paid more money than the rest of Americans? You was getting paid $140,000 a year, but in a matter of seconds, they say, you know what? We have to furlough workers. We have to let workers go. This business is going out of business, so you don't have a job after this. Pier 1 is going out of business. That's a big organization. There's a lot of organizations going out of business. There's a lot of people who are losing their jobs, and I feel for them. But we need to understand what successful means. And here's another thing. You can't get lazy. You have to stay active. You have to stay active. You have to have energy each and every day. And it's hard. Believe me, I'm giving you my true stories. I'm giving you my true pain. I didn't want to go out and watch the property. I had to go get my son football helmet for football practice. I drove 10 miles that way, 30 miles that way, 40 miles back that way. I didn't want to do it, but I had to do it. And I'm still not going to buy the property, but that is what is successful is. You're going to waste a lot of your time, but it's not going to be wasting your time, if you know what I mean. Because even looking at that one property, I've gained insight on properties that I don't want to invest in versus properties that I believe I want to invest in. Because successful is the accumulation of a wealth and vast of knowledge, and then applying that knowledge into action. You have to understand what successful is, and it's hard work, it's time. And the main thing it is, ladies and gentlemen, it is sacrificing. Sacrificing, okay? Sacrificing. You have to adhere to principles. Morals and principles are two things in which sometimes seem non-existent in our modern society, right? Because some people don't have principles. They don't live by any ethics or morals at all. It's kind of like a thing of the past, but identify which principles you have to guide your life through rough times and good times, because right now is a rough time for all of us, okay? For all of us. Your morals and principles should not change no matter what. And if you don't have a hardworking principle, if you don't have a hardworking principles, then guess what? Newsflash, you're not going to be successful. You're not going to be successful. Okay? Self-confidence. Now, I can't stress how vital self-confidence is. It's very vital to have unbreakable faith in yourself. Have unbreakable faith in yourself. And I told you before, don't pity yourself, because a lot of people question if their dream will ever come true. They question it. Strong people have unbreakable faith. Are you strong? And then they know what they're doing is right. If you know anything about my story, I'm from Southeast DC. I am from the ghetto. I'm from the slum. I'm from impoverished neighborhood. Me and my mom we were homeless for a very long time. We either was on the street homeless or in a shelter homeless. How do people get to a place of successfulness from a place of homelessness? I brought a buddy on mine. We did a video about, I want to say 2 months ago. My buddy Gigi, also known as Gashard Dixon or Kelly Dixon. He's a millionaire. How did he become a millionaire? He was homeless 3 times. He lived out of his car. He lived on the street. He lived at some of his boys' pads. How did he become a millionaire? Self-confidence, perseverance, hard work. Here's the main thing. Here's one of the main things. You need to have a reason. You'll be surprised how insecure most successful individuals are. A lot of successful people are very insecure. What motivates most of them to succeed is wanting to prove something to other people. You know how sometimes you hear in rap songs, I believe Biggie said it in one of his songs, one of his teachers thought he would amount to nothing. So when he got to the point where he did, unfortunately, he passed away, but nonetheless, he felt that he proved to his teacher, I told you I would become something. A lot of rappers put that in their music. A lot of people feel the same way. This person, that person, my mom, my dad, my grandmother, my uncle, my friend, my teacher, my mentor, they all told me that I amount to nothing, but look at me now, because you had something to prove to people. To prove to people. And see, every day, ladies and gentlemen, I give people a stock review. I try to give people a stock review Monday through Friday, because I want them to learn what I have learned so they too can make extra money. Because sometimes people equate success to money. So I'm just going to show you right now in the past week, the amount of money that I've made investing, right? If I can get this correctly done, let's see here. I'm going to put this in the camera as best I can, okay? That's how much I made in the past week. At the bottom in green, it says $603 in the past week. How did I do that? How did I do that? How did I make $600 in the past week? Sacrifice. I read a lot. I read a lot of news. I look at analytics, and I give you guys exactly what I do every day. And if you're not willing to do that, then you're not going to make money, which equates sometimes to some people is success. You're not going to be success if you don't put in the hard work, and I put in the hard work, and that's how I can make $600 in a week. On top of what other people make. This thing, that's not my main job. I'm not a 100% investor. I do other things. I do coaching calls as well. So there's many facets and different streams of income that you can create. But the one thing that it's going to take is sacrifice, hard work, perseverance. I said one thing, right? I mean 3. But the one thing is sacrifice. Relentless studying. This is the one that most people hate. People hate to study. People hate to read. Everybody wants things in a minute. They want things in 2 minutes. That's why, you know what? When sometimes I make videos, I'm like, man, I stayed on there 30 minutes. I stayed on there an hour. No one's going to watch that video. And a lot of people don't. But guess what? I figured this out. I am who I am, and people are going to miss out on great information. And then they just want a quick fix to their issues. Sometimes it's not a quick fix. Being successful is not a quick fix. It's not something you can wake up and then you're successful. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You have to sacrifice. If you know the system, you'll understand how you can beat it. Our society often downgrades expertise, but it is crucial. Take hours to study perfection. Humble yourself and understand your craft better than anybody else. Okay. And granted, I still study investing. I'm still trying to be a better option trader because I see the value in it. I see the value in ETFs and index funds. That is my passion. I have to stay on my craft, and you have to humble yourself. Because sometimes when people get to a certain level of success, they stop. They stop getting hungry. Remember, Meek Mill says there's levels to this. There's levels to this. Okay. You know, when you take 50 cents, he worked hundreds of $millions. When you take Jay-Z and Beyonce, they work over $1 billion. When you take Puffy, they're worth $800 million. And look where they come from. I use them as examples because look where they come from. Yeah, they exploited their skills and talent, but then they grew that money. Do you understand what I'm talking about? And then this is one of the most important things, I assure you, is risk. This is the one that have prevented me from poking my head out my turtle shell. This is the one that has prevented me from taking a step forward in real estate. It's the risk. It's the risk. But with no risk, you know it, you know the saying, with no risk comes no reward. With no risk comes no reward. Those who accomplish most success lay it all on the line for what they are passionate about. And I can tell you right this, I'm passionate about making more money. What are you? Are you passionate about making more money? You want to feel the a sense of accomplishment? Or maybe it's not even the sense of accomplishment. Maybe you just want more money. Maybe you want a better car. Maybe you want to live in a better neighborhood. Maybe you want to wear better clothes. Maybe you want to buy better food, but you don't have the money. What are you passionate about? No risk, no reward. It really takes guts to risk everything. It really does. It's scary. It's scary to risk everything because you're like, man, people risk everything and they're poor. They're homeless. That is the fine line between perseverance and you giving up on yourself. Remember, self-confidence is one of the things you need to have. Yet ultimately, this is what you need to do. If you believe in what you're doing, there shouldn't be any fear betting your life on it. There shouldn't be any fear betting your life on it. Because here's the thing. During this time of COVID-19, unfortunately, our government is not doing what's best for the American people because they're still fighting on who they think should be president, who they support, who should look bad. I feel like there's always an evil underlying thing that either the Dems or the Republicans are trying to push. And the one thing on the line is yourself. You have to bet on yourself. It's risky, but everybody knows no risk, no reward. The question is, ladies and gentlemen, what are you willing to do to become successful? Are you willing to put in the hard work? Are you willing to give up some of your time? Because every day you just love watching your favorite television show. Every day you have this routine and you hate to break it. But when you start getting on the road to becoming successful, everything in your life is going to change. And it's going to be a point, this tingling, this feeling like you're going to fail. I feel it. I feel like, man, you know, I don't think that I'm gonna buy this property. I don't think that I can buy a property. But I say, you know what? You made a vow to yourself to buy a property this year, Ross, and you need to do it. The first step is going out there looking at properties. The second step is getting an approval letter and then buy the freaking property. I have to bet on myself. I have to have self-confidence. I have to adhere to my principles, and I have to keep active every single day. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not betting on yourself, if you don't have faith in yourself, let me tell you a secret that everybody knows. You will never become successful. This is Financial Literacy 101. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to support this channel, please do. I have some t-shirts should be coming in my merchandise store below. Look in the description if you want financial coaching or any of that of the above. I wish you guys well. You have a great night. And believe me, if you want to be successful, then you should watch this video probably about 10 more times. You guys have a great and wonderful night. I'm out.